Hey everyone, Andrea Wolf here with the Art of Soulful Living vlog. Thank you for joining me. I pray you are well nourished by our time here today. What a time. What a time this is. I've never experienced anything like this. This crazy convergence of crises that we're in right now. And it's so bittersweet this winter or this summer that we're sitting in right now. You know, it's such a sweet time. Summer is such a sweet time, and I'm so grateful. It's so mild here in Northern California where I live. The temperature's been pretty mild, and the atmosphere's been pretty mild, and you know, it's been a sweet time, you know, but there's just such a tinge. There's such a tinge to everything. There's such a shadow over everything. There's such a prickliness under everything. There's such a sense of this seething potential for explosion under everything. You know, I can imagine that this is how a volcano feels before it explodes. It just feels like so many tensions are converging at once, and people are losing their composure. I lost my composure this morning, you know, and I don't regret it. It was private, you know. I was at home. I was on the land by myself, which is wonderful because the woman I cohabitate with now, we're not really getting along, and I had the land to myself, so I was doing movement practice before I, you know, came into the town to be at the office and do the thing. Here I am, and I just cracked open, and tears, howls, sounds, pain, fear, all these energies just gushed out of this rupture in the facade of my containment. And it was wonderful. It was a perfect setting for it, and I'm really grateful for it. And I know there's a lot more to come in the unfolding of these times, because we have entered into the territory of initiation. And having spent the past 15 years already in the territory of initiation in my personal life, on a particular quest, on a particular soul's errand, I know that real initiation has its own timeline. And we have come into deep communion with all of the hardest, most complex, most entrenched difficulties in our world, in our lives, all at once. And I won't even name them. You know what they are. I know if you're here with me, you know what they are. But they're all up at once, and they are all up in the way that, you know, it's different. Like, you can feel the difference when something comes up, and it's coming up because it's going to be changed. You can feel the difference when you meet something and you know it's not going away. There's a different feeling. There's a different feeling to reckoning, to true reckoning. There's a different feeling to initiation. You know, when you realize, like, oh, this thing that I have been successfully avoiding for however long it's not going to go back in the box this time. It's not going to go back under the rug. It's not going to go back over there while I look over here. This person is not going to help me with this lie anymore. The world is not going to facilitate this lie anymore. Like, that's it. It's done. The thing is changing now. That's all there is to it. And everybody knows that feeling, even if they don't know it. I know it because I just spent 15 years already in an initiation. Most of it was in the underworld. Most of it was this tone of severe reckoning with all of the things that were out of alignment between my ideals and the actuality of my expression in life. In the Emerald Tablets, in the Emerald Tablets are the original text of the ancient art of alchemy. And in the Emerald Tablets, it says, as above, so below. As within, so without. When the two become one, when the inner and the outer become one, when the above and the below become one, then we will enter the kingdom of heaven. So what does that actually mean? It means when we close the gap between our ideals and our expression, when we come into a state of actual integration on an energetic level, then a code cracks and we radiate life force at a different level. That's what it means to say we enter the kingdom of heaven. It means we level up as an energy system. We come out of discord, disharmony with ourselves and the manifest expression of our lives. And we become cohesive, we become integrated, we become integral. That is one of the purposes of initiation. And that is the territory of our moment. And that is the nature of our task as a species right now. We have entered into the territory of initiation as a species. And unfortunately, because we are so dense, literally 3D dense, as they say, as you progress in evolution, you become successively lighter, and right now we're pretty fucking dense. We have backed ourselves into this corner of extreme peril. We are incredibly imperiled from every conceivable direction right now. And so we are entering into this, the nature of this initiation is a dark night of the soul. We are, in the tarot language, you would say, this is the tower. The false edifice, the false edifice has just been struck by lightning and just boom! The story is just shattered. It's in pieces. It doesn't apply anymore. And so the default mode that most of us have been living in, and that we've been living in as a collective, this blind, destructive, soul-numbing, banal default mode that we've been living in has suddenly ground to a halt, and we are face to face with the reality of our situation right now in a way that we are not going to talk our way out of, distract our way out of, numb our way out of. Like, we are being held accountable by life right now. And there's some serious work ahead of us. So, how do we engage with the moment in the most life-giving way possible? That is the central riddle of this initiation in my assessment. Maybe it's something different for other people. I'm sure it is. But how do we engage with this in the most life-giving way possible? Because the outcome is totally unsure. People are at war with each other on so many levels. There is so much discord and disharmony. There's so much bickering and fighting. There's so much fear, confusion, anger. It is a hot mess on planet Earth. I have this funny vision of like our ancestors, Great Spirit, our galactic brothers and sisters, out there watching us on the cosmic vid screen, however they do it. I have this vision of them just like, yeah, we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. I don't good vibes, man. Just good vibes. Just pray for the best. I don't know how this is gonna go. Oh, seriously. I can just imagine spirits watching us just kind of like, wow. Alright, well, that's one way to do it. Maybe they'll find their way through. Yeah, I mean, they're not the first. They're not the first species, the first race, the first planet to fuck up and get it wrong. They won't be the last. But they're star athletes with making a mess out of things, for sure. And I don't fault us for that, don't get me wrong. Just a little tangent. So, anyway, initiation. Yeah, entering into initiation through the dark night of the soul. How do we do this in the most life-giving way possible? One thing to do is to treat everything as a learning opportunity. When I was in my initiation, which I spoke of at length, probably not a lot of detail, but I spoke of it at length in a previous video, The Descent of Ishtar. When I was in my initiation, every time I got handed a task, by which I mean every time something happened, and things happened, things just happened for years. And like, it would have driven me crazy if I didn't have the framework for initiation to hold it in. Because things just went bad and went wrong over and over and over and over and over again for years. And every time something happened, I brought myself fully into relationship with it. I showed up. That is the fundamental tool in initiation. Initiation, by design, exceeds what we know to be our capacity. It's just a little, or maybe a lot, beyond the strength we've funded up to now, the capacity that we've cultivated up to now. It's just a little beyond, or maybe a lot beyond. And the purpose of the initiation is that we cultivate the capacity to deal with what we've been handed. And all we do is show up. Because that act of bringing ourselves into direct and undivided attention and relationship with the hardship that has been handed to us and the storms that it catalyzes within us, the act of bringing ourselves fully present with it right there, fully present with the thing and with ourselves inside of it, that creates the space for things to emerge, for latent qualities, medicines, capacities, talents, abilities, powers within us to arise in response to it. We have to show up. Every time we want to escape, run away, avoid, flee, deny, reject, circumvent what we've been handed, every time we want to do that, we have to turn ourselves back around and face the thing. Because here's the thing about facing monsters, right? All these ancient myths have something to do, like not all of them, so many of these ancient myths have something to do with facing some terrifying greater power. The myth of Ishtar, the myth of the descent of Ishtar, has to do with Ishtar's fine. She's the queen of heaven and earth. Everything's great. She's got her man, she's got her servant, she's got the earth singing her praises. She's, just radiance and bliss and pleasure personified. Everything's fine, but she has a nagging understanding that she's not complete because she's never met her sister Ereshkigal, the queen of hell. So she decides to go to see Ereshkigal. She knows this thing is there, and this thing is important, this thing matters. And so she chooses to go towards it. It is terrifying. It is outside of her ken. It is beyond her capacity. It is antithetical to everything she is and everything she knows. But she knows that her completion lies there, so she goes towards it. And that act of going towards it avails her of spectrums of and components of and particularities of power that she would not have had access to had she just stayed in her comfort zone. This is the invitation we are sitting inside of right now. We are sitting inside of the invitation to our own greater order of beauty and power and wisdom. We are not showing up to this invitation with the skills to meet it already cultivated. Meeting the invitation is what is going to cultivate these skills. It's what is going to bring to life these powers within us. This is the essence of initiation. It is beyond our capacity. Not our ultimate capacity, but our known capacity. It is beyond what we have cultivated already, what we have prepared for already. Nobody is prepared for the convergence of circumstances that we are dealing with right now. Nobody is prepared for this. And I feel it in the depths of my bones that we have the capacity, the ultimate capacity, to do this well. I don't believe it will be easy. I'm open to it being somehow miraculously easy, but I will not be surprised if this is hard for a long time, because I know that in my own life, and I was not a bad person. I was not a bad person, but I was a mess. I was a mess. I was selfish and narcissistic. I was destructive to myself and to the things around me. I was chaotic. I was a liar. I was a thief. I was reckless. I know that in the course of my own initiation, which has genuinely transformed me into the person of incredible beauty that I have become, who I love and am proud of, I know that in the course of my own initiation, I had to traverse the territory between these poles. And it was hard territory. Over and over and over again, it was hard territory because I had to keep meeting the same material over and over and over again. I had to keep refining and refining and refining. I had to keep deepening and deepening and deepening on the work that was already done. And it has made me an integrated soul. It has made me a genuine adult. And it took a long time, and it was not easy. And I feel this situation we're in right now feels and sounds and smells the same as my entry into the underworld did 15 years ago. So, the first thing in initiation is just to show up, no matter what gets handed to you. And that doesn't mean never take a break. It doesn't mean never rest. It doesn't mean never stop, but it means show up, no matter what gets handed to you. And the second thing about initiation is that initiation clarifies your inner compass. It clarifies your inner compass. So that, like I said, we're not coming to this with the skills that we need already developed. We're coming, a lot of those skills for a lot of us are seedlings. Some of them are saplings. Some of them are trees. Not many of us have an old growth forest of capacity for what we're walking into right now. And thank God for the ones who do. I'm not one of them. I've got a young forest of capacity. And I hope it holds up in the storm. I'm doing okay so far. Lots of cracks in the dam. But the process of showing up in the course of the initiation clarifies, polishes, and refines the compass so that our ability to navigate towards a greater order of beauty, a deeper order of integrity, is always getting clearer. Is always getting clearer. That work of bringing the inner and the outer into integrity is an incredibly deep work that happens in a very dreamlike way. It's not something you can go after on a mechanical level. It's something that you breathe and dream and live your way into that integrity. And it takes time. And it takes showing up. And it takes listening. Initiation has so much to do with listening and responding to what is heard, with this clear intention to integrate ourselves into a greater order of beauty, calibrate ourselves into a greater order of beauty. And it's not easy, but it's worth it. It is the difficult that's worth it. Avoiding it, denying it, rejecting it, trying to go around it, that is the difficult that is not worth it. That is the difficult that is only going to lead to a worthless kind of pain. Staying with it, no matter how hard it gets, with love, and a devotion to beauty, and a devotion to life. That is the fundamental tool for this time, because we are going to be in the underworld and in the unknown for a while. We're going to be here for a while. So, hold this in the context of initiation and let yourself be transformed by it. Engage with the world around you as peacefully and as powerfully as you can. Pay attention to the subtle. Pay attention to what is being asked of you on a spiritual level. And when you understand what's being asked of you on a spiritual level, respond to it from your heart, from your womb or your root, from your wisdom. There is nothing easy about initiation, but fuck, it feels good when we reach that new place. And we have the possibility right now, we have the potential to go somewhere new. We have the potential to make changes for the better. And it is so needed that we make these changes. And really, just be kind. Please, be kind to yourself, to each other, to everyone who is fucking up right now. Be kind. Tend to our bonds. Tend to our kinship. Be a part of the beauty of this moment. Be a part of the healing of this world. Do your initiation with dedication to your own greater possibility. I think the goddess, God, all our galactic brothers and sisters, all our allies and ancestors, I think everybody's rooting for us. I think everybody has faith in us. And I believe that we will find our way through this to a greater order of beauty. If you need help with your peace, reach out to me or to someone else who you think can help you. But I'm here. I do counseling and healing. So if you need help, reach out to me. I'll help you as much as I can. All right, friends. That's the drop for the day. I pray you are well fed by our time here together, and thank you again for joining me. If you like this video, if you like my work, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, share it with your friends, and check out my other work. All the links to my website and my music are all down in the description box, so check all that stuff out and be in touch. Be in touch. You don't have to go it alone. Don't try. Please don't try to go this alone. We can help each other through it. We can do this. We can do this well. I love you. So many blessings to you.